Hey guys, what is up? Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Ooh, today's video is going to be a little bit different. I know I said that I was going to put a vlog with this, but I feel like this is going to be a pretty long video. Anyways, and I didn't vlog, so whatever. We're just going to get right into it. This is a story time video. So basically what it means is I get to over exaggerate everything because it's YouTube. I'm just kidding. I'm not going to over exaggerate anything. I'm going to tell the story exactly how it happened from my point of view. Obviously I can't give you the other person's point of view, but I can give you the best that I can. Obviously it's not going to be some crazy thing like I messed around with G-Eazy, but I can tell you about events that happened in my life. So I'm going to tell you the story about my first kiss. This was the most eventful, scary, weird 2 days of my entire life. So I just want to start off by saying there's a lot of stuff that took place into this story. Okay, I have two guys that I'm going to talk about, and I know when I say that it's kind of like two guys. So I was dating this guy, we're gonna call him Mason. And of course when I'm recording my favorites come out. I loved Mason with all that I had for as long as that relationship lasted. And me and Mason just started to grow apart. We had been dating for probably 7 months at this time, but we broke up. So we had been broke up for, I want to say, about a week and a half, and I was at a point in my life where I was like, you know what, I'm not going to let this get me down. I'm going to do my own thing. And by the way, me and Mason were a long distance relationship, so I don't even know if you would seriously call it a relationship. So this guy messaged me on Facebook. We're going to call him Alex. And this was around the 4th of July, by the way. He was really nice, really sweet, and we were talking and we got to know each other, I guess. About, I want to say 3 days went by, and we were talking, and the 4th of July came up, and he asked me what I was doing for the 4th of July. And at the time, I was not talking to Mason. Me and Mason were broke up completely. I thought that there was no fixing that. So, I went to the fireworks with Alex. Okay, so here's where things started to get a little like, what? So, I went to the fireworks with my best friend and my sister and her friend. And he just so happened to be there. Like, we met him there and everything because I didn't want to meet him alone. So, me and my best friend, you know, we were having a good time. We were talking and stuff. And he was just kind of like standing there. Like, he wasn't going to do anything. He was just kind of standing there and like just looking around. So, you know, I was trying to be like upbeat and cool and like that cool girl or whatever. So I was like, you know, being all cool. We had fun at the fireworks. This is a picture of me and my best friend at the fireworks. I think we had our matching shirts on and stuff like that. So this is where the stuff like starts to get a little weird. So we are getting ready to go, like the fireworks were over, and we were getting ready to walk back to the car, and people started throwing TNT, like the little firework popper things or whatever, and they sounded really loud. And not too long ago at the beach that we were at, there was like somebody bringing guns to it and everything, so everybody was kind of freaking out. Well, homeboy pulls out a knife. Oh hell no! And like kind of grabs me and he's like, I'll protect you. And I'm over here like, my dude, I'm not a damsel in distress. I can handle my damn self. And he kept me close and like he was not letting me go. And I'm over here like, bruh, nobody is gonna touch me. So we were walking and walking and walking, and then we had to cross this pretty busy like intersection or whatever. And he was like, don't move. And I'm like, looking at my sister and my friend like, what the fuck do you mean don't move? Like, dude, I will punch you. So finally we get to cross the street, and this girl and this other guy like came up behind us, and he like grabbed me to the side, and I was just trying to walk back to my car. And I'm over here like, okay, this is getting kind of weird. So, like, the people were talking out loud, and he was like, are they talking crap about you? And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, I don't know. I just kind of want to get out of this situation. So he turns around, and I'm over here like, is he about to get in a fight with these people? Because I'm not going to back him up. I don't know him that well. What am I supposed to do? Jump, like, get into a fight with this girl? So he turned back around. They didn't get no fight. He didn't say anything to him. He just gave him this really dirty look, and I'm just standing there like, I don't even think they were talking about me. We get back to the car, and you know, this was my very first kiss, so I've never experienced anything. But wait, this is not where he kissed me. This is like but wait, there's more. So we hugged, and he left, and I left. I didn't text him because I didn't know. Like, I was like, this is weird. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. So the next day I wake up to a text from him because I guess he expected me to text him, and he was like, so I'm gonna guess you didn't have fun. And I was like, well, you know, I had fun, but you know, it was just a little, wasn't you know. And he was like, well, let me take you on a date, like a real date tonight, and you know, all this stuff and blah blah blah. And he's like, you know, I wanted to kiss you. And I'm like, oh, me too. Like, I was like, yeah, that's fine. You can come and pick me up, and we can go somewhere. So he comes to pick me up, and my dad's waiting outside. Like, my dad wanted to meet him. He was like, you are not going somewhere without me meeting him. And my dad decided to tell him some pretty cruel jokes about the whole if you hurt my daughter type thing. And we get in the car, and he's just like looking at me like, your dad's crazy. And I'm over here like, I know. So you will never guess where this dude took me on a date. To Walmart. He took me to Walmart. I'm not joking. I couldn't, I can't make this up. He took me to Walmart. And it was like, Walmart? Really? And the whole time I was thinking about Mason. Like what Mason was doing, what he would think about this if he found out about it, and all this stuff. And you know, because I have a very like deep place for Mason in my heart. So we go to Walmart, and we're walking around, and I'm just kind of thinking to myself, like, why the fuck am I here? I shouldn't be here. I am at Walmart for a date right now. Like, this is ridiculous. We went over by the camping stuff, and he was like, I'd love to take you on a camping trip. And I'm just looking at him like, you ain't taking me nowhere. But seriously, I was like, well, that's nice. So he came up behind me, and he like put his hands around me, and I was like, what are you doing? Like, don't do that. I don't know you like that. Don't do that. And you know, it was very awkward. I'm telling you, I was probably like that the entire time he had his arms around me. I was so uncomfortable. It was ridiculous. So we started walking around a little bit more. I was walking like I was gone. I was not trying to stay around him. So, and it's not like he was like a horrible guy or anything. He was a really nice guy. It's just I was uncomfortable with the entire situation. I shouldn't have been on a date, especially knowing that like a week before I broke up with somebody that I was like still in love with. With that being said, we walked over by the fish. I have such a photographic memory. I remember everything, like, and he came up behind me and he kissed my neck, and I swear to God, I was like, is there something on my neck? I want to cry for this guy because I can't imagine what was running through his head. When I did, like, I smacked him in the face, like, oh my God, I was not expecting it. I was like, so I was like, you know what? I gotta go to the bathroom. So I went to the bathroom and I texted my mom, tell me to come home. My mom texts back, why? Mom, if I text you something, don't text me back why, just do it. I could be dying. So she finally texts me back after I delete the text of her saying why and me like asking her. She texted me, you need to come home, and I was like, look, I gotta go home, like, let's go. So, and by the way, he didn't buy anything. So we were leaving, and all the way to the car, like sprinting, like, let's go. By the way, it wasn't my car, so I couldn't drive really fast. And he came up behind me, grabbed me by my hand, and he kissed me. I cannot. Like, I was like, bro, what the fuck? I was like, what are you doing? And he was just like, is something wrong? And I was like, I just need to go home. Retelling the story for like the internet to hear is just like, I hope that this guy, if he ever hears this, like, I'm sorry that that went so bad. I didn't intend for it to go that way. Like, you're not a bad guy or anything, dude. It's just, I had so much going on and it was just a bad time, and yeah. So he took me home and I told him I'm not ready for a relationship, and that was the last time I talked to him. I don't know if I think I still have him on Snapchat, but other than that, I haven't talked to him since. There was one other guy that I kissed. I've honestly only kissed 2 guys in my entire life. And that's not like me putting that out there as like a bragging type thing, because I know like for some reason this generation thinks like if you're not doing stuff with people then you're uncool, but I personally don't believe that. I feel like you are cooler if you know how to like respect yourself and have boundaries with people. Relationships mean a lot to me, so I don't just jump into a relationship with anybody. I'm actually really hard to talk to. Like for the second guy that actually kissed me, we were talking for 2 weeks and he wasn't completely honest with me, and that was like a deal breaker for me. I don't like when people are dishonest with me, especially since a lot of my childhood had to do with lying. So that's just kind of like, it's a deal breaker for me. Like, don't lie to me. With the second story, it was just kind of like, I met this guy on this app called Meet Me, which I deleted this app because there was nothing but people like trying to do stuff that I'm not ready for, and I guess, I don't know if that was his intentions. Me and this guy are still kind of friends. I don't really know what that is. I'm gonna go ahead and call this guy Chris. So Chris, like we don't have any problems, but I went over to his house and I got to like meet his grandma and his mom, and they were really cool. They were really nice. And honestly, I was so awkward. Like, we literally watched Shameless, like one episode of Shameless, and I was like, I gotta go, I'm hungry. And like, at the time I was doing Herbalife, so when I got hungry on that, it was like death. Like, I needed food right then and there. I was like an angry bitch. So I was like, I gotta go. But I looked really cute that day. Like, I still remember the full outfit. I planned it out perfectly. I did my hair and everything. And when I was walking back to my car, he just grabbed me and he kissed me, and that one wasn't so awkward. That part wasn't. I think the other one was more awkward because I wasn't exactly ready. This little fling, or whatever you want to call it, happened last year. I think in like May, maybe June. I don't quite remember. But it was a couple months after I had actually gotten over Mason. So the whole thing with Mason, it's been a year since I've even talked to Mason. That relationship is completely done. There's no reviving it, and that's pretty much it with that. I never got to meet him, never got to see him in person, face to face, so it was never gonna work. But as far as the other guys, like, that would never work either. I'm a really awkward person in person when it comes to stuff like this, just because of how serious I take it. So now that you guys have heard a little bit more about my personal life, what's another story you guys would like to hear? Leave suggestions down in the comments and I will be sure to make more story times, because I love talking about these things. So if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button, because we always want you here and we upload every single day. And yeah, so I will be here tomorrow, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day. I want you to be alive.